All right, here's a close-up of the build with our Hyper 212 RGB Black Edition. It looks really nice in our PC build, and we have our RGB fan. Hey everyone, Digital David here. Today in this video, I'm going to be checking out the coolermaster Hyper 212 RGB Black Edition CPU cooler. I did receive this product to review, but any opinion expressed in this video is strictly my own. That being said, if you're interested in this product, you want to find out more about this cooler, the link to it will be in the video description. Here's the retail box and packaging. Everything looks great. We have some product features on the side, additional info on the back, and our tech specs on the other side. This does support Intel and AMD. This features direct contact technology with 4 heat pipes. We also have an RGB LED controller that's included. Now let's go ahead, let's open this up and look at the contents. This video is sponsored by Software Keep. Shop software products ranging from 1 user to enterprise licenses. Their software includes Microsoft Office, Microsoft 365, Windows 10 and 11, along with antivirus for PC and Mac users. For my viewers, they are offering an additional 20% off site-wide using code DD20, so be sure to enter code DD20 at checkout today. Here are all the contents. First up, we have our product literature featuring our warranty info. This does come with a 2-year warranty, followed by our user guide and manual, showing us all the included parts and components right here, and then how to configure the included bracket, depending on if you're going the Intel or AMD route with your CPU, how to fasten everything in place, how to install the fan, the brackets. You get the idea here, depending on your socket. Then they show you how to connect it to your motherboard and how to connect the controller for the RGB. And if you want to install a second fan, they do give you the hardware to do that. You'll just have to provide your own fan. We have all of our hardware right here with our bracket. We have a splitter cable if we want to do the 2-fan install route with the bracket. Controller right here with adapter for power. We have all of our screws and hardware. Thermal paste as well. We have the Master Gel Pro with some extra clips. We currently have ours configured for AMD, but you can also configure it for Intel. A couple different options there. And lastly, we have the cooler itself. Check out that fan with our RGB. That's going to look so nice. Here it is from the side. From the top, I really like the coolermaster logo that we have there. Here it is from the other side without a second fan installed. Here it is from the bottom with the warning label. Make sure to peel off before use. And I wanted to show you the 4 heat pipes with the contact they're going to make with your CPU. All of our cables tucked right in as well. So we have one for the RGB, one for the fan. Looks really, really nice. Now let's go ahead and let's try it out. All right, we got our PC built with our cooler installed. Let's go ahead, let's look at it in more detail. All right, here's a close-up of the build with our Hyper 212 RGB Black Edition. It looks really nice in our PC build, and we have our RGB fan glowing right there. Try to look at it from this side too. It was a tight fit and squeeze in there. We have it cooling an AMD 5600G for our CPU. That does have integrated graphics. It's running nice and quiet too. Not too loud. And you may notice we have some of our Master Fan 120 Halo series fans behind it. But check that out. Everything looks great. Now it's time to test out the cooler and see the temps that we get. First up, we have all the panels on. The PC's just at an idle. Let's see the results. We're showing 32.6 degrees Celsius for our CPU, and we peaked at 44.5 degrees Celsius. And for our GPU, we're showing 37.7 degrees Celsius currently, and we peaked at 38 degrees Celsius. Now let's take a look at our cooler and how it performs under a full load. So we're showing CPU temp currently at 74 degrees Celsius. We peaked at 75 degrees Celsius. For our GPU, we're currently at 34.3 degrees Celsius, and we peaked at 40.6 degrees Celsius. So now after using the Cooler Master Hyper 212 RGB Black Edition, let me share with you my final thoughts. First, I prefer having a tower cooler, having air cooling for my CPUs. There's nothing wrong with AIOs or custom water cooling or anything along those lines. I just don't like having liquid around my PC parts and components, and I want to have the least amount of maintenance as possible. Everything works great with this cooler, but I do want to point out with our Gigabyte motherboard, the software's not playing nicely and doesn't recognize the fan. That could be for a couple of reasons. The first one is I have it connected to our other master fan, Halo fans, and we are not using the included hub. Now that hub just gives us manual controls, so I don't really like that because I'd rather have a software solution versus having to, take the panel off my case and manually adjust the color or the setting that I want. So I thought it would work with our RGB Fusion software, especially because it's advertised to. That could be user error, but again, just keep in mind, if you're gonna be using a cooler like this, it might be in your best interest to get a hub anyways and control all of your fans. And I'd probably argue you might want to swap out the included RGB fan to match the other fans that you're using. So in my case, I have an extra master fan, Halo fan, that I would swap out with the front fan, but I did want to show you guys what that fan RGB looks like, and it is nice, but I'd argue it's not as nice as the Halo fans that I have, and I think that will contribute to the aesthetic more of my build. But just keep that in mind. It does come with its own hub you can manually control if you want from that hub, but you will have to access it inside your case. In regards to software, you guys know already probably that it's just kind of hit or miss with third-party software and the integration. They do advertise that it works, so I will trust them on that. In my experience, how I configured my build, it's not working, but that could be because it's tied to these other fans, but they're all connected directly to the motherboard at the correct header, so I can control the other fans and they all change colors, but not the fan on the cooler.